Hey there, my amazing angling friends. Welcome back to the channel, your go-to spot for the freshest fishing intel. Today, we're diving deep into what the 8th of January 2026 has in store for us across this incredible country. What's the secret to winter success, you ask? Well, this day is shaping up to be a classic winter challenge with some surprising rewards for those who know where to look and what to throw. Stick with me because I'm going to share some hard-won wisdom that will turn those chilly January days into memorable fishing adventures, especially with a waning gibbous moon still bringing some interesting activity. Let's talk fish, my friends. For those of you braving the colder waters, especially in the northern half of the USA, where ice might be covering your favorite lakes, we're going to focus on katiki, crappie, and yellow perch. These panfish are true winter warriors. You'll find them concentrated in mid-depths, typically around 8 to 15 feet, hugging any structure they can find, submerged brush, old weed lines, or even subtle bottom transitions. Why there? Because that's where the water temperature is most stable, and bait fish are often holding tight, providing an easy meal. For perch, a tiny jig, maybe a 1/16 or 1/32 ounce, tipped with a live minnow head, or a maggot presented slowly with tiny twitches, is your ticket to success. For crappie, a small soft plastic jig, perhaps a 1-inch or 2-inch tube on a light jig head, worked vertically just above the schools you mark on your sonar, will often get their attention. Remember, slow and subtle is the name of the game when that water is cold. Now, if you're lucky enough to be fishing in the open waters of the southern states, or if you catch one of those glorious temporary thaws in the Midwest, largemouth bass can offer some exciting action. Don't let the cold fool you. Bass still need to eat. Look for them in deeper creek channels and coves, often in 15 to 30 feet of water, especially near those crucial drop-offs and submerged timber. Why these spots? Because baitfish are seeking refuge from colder, shallower waters, and the bassie follow. My best advice is to use a slow retrieve with a jig and pig combination, or a lipless crankbait that can be bumped along the bottom. Work those baits deliberately, letting them sit for longer than you might in warmer months. A slow-falling jerkbait can also be deadly when twitched erratically, mimicking a dying baitfish. And for my saltwater enthusiasts along the Gulf Coast, this is an excellent time for fishy redfish and speckled trout. Many of these species will have moved into shallower, protected bays and estuaries, or even deeper channels, where the water is slightly warmer and more stable. In clear winter waters, sight fishing for redfish on grass flats can be incredible. Look for them around oyster beds, dock pilings, and the mouths of feeder creeks where they can ambush prey. For redfish, a scented soft plastic, like a shrimp imitation or a paddle-tail grub on a light jig head, slowly bounced along the bottom or under a popping cork, will get their attention. Speckled trout often school up in deeper holes and channels within the bays. Try drifting with live shrimp or a soft plastic, jigging it gently. The key is to cover water slowly and thoroughly, as their strike zone is much smaller in cooler temperatures. Let's break down the conditions that are shaping our day. Weather-wise, the 8th of January 2026 presents a typical winter picture across much of the USA. Expect average air temperatures to range from the low 20s to the low 40s Fahrenheit across a significant portion of the country, with colder conditions and potential for lake-effect snow in the east, and milder, wetter conditions along the Pacific coast and in the south. Atmospheric pressure trends can be quite variable this time of year, with cold fronts bringing drops and subsequent high-pressure systems bringing stable but very cold conditions. Keep an eye on local forecasts for any sudden pressure changes, as stability usually means better fishing, even if it's cold. Precipitation is generally expected to be low in the central US, but the Pacific coast and parts of the Northeast may see more significant rain or snow. Water temperature, my friends, is the biggest factor right now. In many freshwater lakes and rivers in colder regions, water temperatures will be in the low to mid-40s, possibly even dipping into the high 20s under persistent ice cover. In the warmer southern states, you might see water temperatures in the 50s or even low 60s in shallow, sun-exposed areas. This cold water dramatically slows down fish metabolism. They become less active, less aggressive, and their feeding windows shrink, driving them to conserve energy by moving to deeper, more stable environments. This is why you need to slow down your presentation and fish those deeper, structured areas. Now for a bit of lunar wisdom. On January 8, 2026, the moon will be in its waning gibbous phase. It's about 5 days past the full moon, with approximately 70% of its surface still illuminated but steadily decreasing. Many anglers believe that the waning gibbous phase, especially a few days after the intense feeding around the full moon, can offer a period of fair to good fishing, as fish might be recovering and looking for consistent, easy meals. It's not the peak frenzy of the full moon, but a steady, reliable period if you adapt. Considering all these factors, my friends, the overall fish activity for the 8th of January 2026 will be capricious to good or geese. It will be a bite requiring patience and precise presentation, but with good rewards for those who adapt. The cold temperatures and slower metabolism mean fish are concentrated and less willing to chase, but they will bite if your offering is presented correctly in their strike zone. So, my friends, get out there and enjoy the unique challenges and rewards of winter fishing. May your lines be tight and your catches be plentiful. Until next time, tight lines, everyone. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a big thumbs up if you found this forecast helpful, and tell me in the comments below, what are your favorite winter fishing tactics? What's biting in your neck of the woods this January? I love hearing your stories and tips.